Welcome to the Lead It Culture podcast, where every episode is about learning how to grow and thrive in today's culture, rather than letting the culture define who we are. Here are your hosts, Kenny Mason and Edgar.
Hey guys, we are here again with another episode for you. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you so much. I'm here with Edgar.
Yep.
My man, what's going on, Edgar?
What's going on, man?
Nothing
Excited.
much. Nothing much. My name is Kenny. I'm here today with you guys, and we are here with another episode. And we're going to be talking about sex and dating. Woo.
Fun topic.
Let's go. Let's get it. All right. So it obviously touchy subject, right?
Yeah.
And just want to throw a disclaimer out there that if you are listening to this and especially a parent and you're not ready to, maybe you're in a car with your kid, you don't want them to hear this, or you don't want to have this conversation yet, then obviously, we're going to be talking about, sex and dating and, things like that. So just a disclaimer to put out there. If you're in a car and riding, you want to listen to another episode or something like that, then by all means go ahead. But we're going to be diving deep into this, so because it's a topic that needs to be had. So let's get it. Let's go. So obviously we've been there, done that. We're married, all that good stuff. And so, but at a younger age, Edgar, like, how did that look for you? Like, what was your perspective of sex? What was your perspective of dating? How did that look? How did that look in your house? How did all that go?
Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian household my whole life. My grandparents were pastors. So I had that Christian view of, that Christian view of, you wait till you're married.
That's good.
Dating is okay, but be careful because it can be down a bad path. And my parents still married to this day, praise the Lord.
That's awesome.
But I feel like they set a healthy example of what a relationship should look like and what a marriage looks like. And so growing up, going to school, I was never the type to like a lot of people in high school, a lot of my friends were very much like, I just want to hook up with somebody. Like, I want to go to this party to do this. And I was never drawn to that. It was never something that caught my attention. I always preferred to date someone and to get to know somebody. And I got made fun of for that by my close friends. Not like bullying or anything, but they would give me a hard time for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had that mindset. I preferred to date than to spend all my energy trying to find somebody to just like hook up with or do things that I will probably regret the next day doing. And so I had my first girlfriend when I was 14. First actual girlfriend. I had things with a girl in like first or second grade. I'm like, I like you too.
Yeah.
But,
pass the notes.
Yeah, exactly. But like actual relationship, first relationship, I was 14, it's my freshman year, and I got cheated on.
Oh,
and, and we only dated for about a month, but it was really, really rough because that was my first girlfriend, and so in my mind,
did you cry, bro?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
Of course. It's all good. Best girl in the world in my eyes, now married to me.
Let's go.
And so absolutely no regrets. I'm thankful for that.
Right.
But yeah, no. So back then, when that happened, I was devastated.
Yeah.
And it was such a short time. We were only together for about a month, but my whole identity was in this relationship. In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna marry this girl, like it's gonna happen. And so it was rough. And so going back to the question, growing up, I always had that mentality, like I'm dating with the purpose of marriage. Like, I'm not just dating to get around. But yeah, so what about you growing up? What did that look like?
I was everywhere. My mother and father are not married. They weren't married. I stayed with my mom predominantly. I went to my dad's house on the weekends and stuff. So I would say that I wasn't intentionally taught about dating and sex. So like, songs, whatever I heard in songs, whatever I saw in movies, whatever I saw in shows, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Or whatever my friends were talking about, that's what it was. So.
Really, the culture around you really was what was shaping you. In that sense.
Yeah, culture was truly, truly shaping my perspective of sex and dating. I didn't have much of an idea outside of culture. So whatever they were saying and they were doing, it was what it was. I felt like I always had to have a girlfriend. I felt empty. I felt lonely if I didn't have a girlfriend. Every Valentine's Day, I had to have a gift for a girl. That's just how it went down, and there was a huge void there, obviously. And so that's kind of like how it was for me growing up. I didn't look at dating in a healthy way. I didn't even know what it. Nobody ever told me that. I did take a purity card though. I took them. My mom did go to church. We did go to church, casually, and we went to this church. And I remember this night they were doing things, and they made us take these cards. It was a purity card, and it meant that we couldn't have sex until marriage. But I had no idea. I wasn't discipled.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I was just going because, it was supposed to go. Yeah. So, I didn't know what that purity card meant. So, I did have sex before I got married. I did it at a young age. And that's because I was more into culture than more into, what I was supposed to be taught. And it ended up leading me to be, in some scary situations, some scary moments. And it was very unhealthy for me, to have this mindset, and obviously it carried with me through college. And then obviously, met my wife, amazing. Well, shout out to Naima, and
shout out to Gina, man. I feel like I've said wife a bunch of times. I never say the name.
I know. Shout out
Gina, I love you, man.
Yeah. Oh, see, look, now I gotta say Naima, I love you. So we going out there. So yeah. Shout out to the wives. They're awesome. Yeah, seriously. So met her and a lot changed. A lot changed, and we just wanted to change together. So that's what truly, truly helped out the most. And yeah, when you know that, I love what you said about dating. You date with the intentions to marry. You date with the intentions to marry. And I would say, so a couple pointers to throw out there. What does dating look like as for a high schooler? Because every parent is going to tell you, don't date until 16, 17, 18 or whatever. So I just want to throw this out there because I have kids and I think about this all the time. I have my son's going to be 9 in May. So 9 more years, he's 18. Yeah. So I got to be thinking about what am I going to do? What am I going to say to my kids about dating? And honestly, I can't wait to have the conversations. I want to know. Really? Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. My boys, I want them to come home and say, Dad, I like this girl. All right, tell me about her.
All right, Naima, go away.
Yeah. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Now, for Nia, I don't want to hear. I don't want to know nothing.
Hey, right. Yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing. Yeah. I don't want to hear you. I'm shutting it down.
Yeah, that's right.
For the boys, let's talk about it.
Daddy, I like.
No. You like me. Right. You love me, your father. So I don't want to hear it. Go to mommy. Yeah. So I'm just playing. We'll talk about it. But
yeah.
I think that dating. One thing that I wish I would have known is that you have to be best friends. Be best friends. Yeah. Like I wanted to be so lovey-dovey with because that's what I saw. I wanted to kiss. I wanted to hold hands. I wanted to do nice long walks on the beach.
True.
I wanted to watch movies. I wanted to go to the movies and just sit in the dark and just with her. I wanted to do everything that we weren't supposed to do. I wanted to do everything else except be friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think a lot of kids and students in college, you're like that today. Like you don't what's their favorite color? What's their favorite food? Where did they grow up at? Where were they born? Do you know that stuff, or do you just, obviously want to have sex? Or do you care? Or are you looking at her physical features? Are you looking at her?
That physical attraction. Now that it doesn't go away.
Yeah, because that's important.
It's gonna go deeper than that.
Right.
Like, it's gonna get to a point where the physical attraction alone is not enough. You need that deeper connection. You need to know that person.
Yeah, because obviously we're married. We know that you need and I feel like the physical attraction plays a huge part, right? Because you want to be attracted to whoever you're dating and dating to get married to one day. But like you got, just like you said, you need a more depth in your relationship. And you just need to build up like more of like what to know. Now, I met Naima when she was 19 and I was 21.
Okay.
We got married I think, yeah. We got, if you're listening to this, babe, I'm sorry. But I know when we got married now, she was 20 and I was 22. I just don't know if I met her at 18 or 19. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But I'm in trouble. But anyway, I think, so when I married Naima, she was 20.
Okay.
That means that she spent 18 years of her life without me. So that's 18 years of her life, 19 years of my life or whatever, 20 years of my life without her. So that's 20 years of my life that I have to catch her up on.
Right. And
so if I'm not taking the time to get to know her, to be friends, what am I doing? You know, am I just so infatuated by how she looks, you know, or am I really trying to get to know her?
Right.
She spent 19 years of her life without me. So that's 19 years. I want to know. I want to know where you grew up. Do you have siblings? You know, what's your favorite color? We need to get to know each other. I mean, all of that stuff is just so important when dating, you know, is to not only focus on the physical attraction, because culture will tell you that. It'll tell you, you know, I remember in school being embarrassed. I was embarrassed in school because everybody was having sex in school. Everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
And I felt like a loser if I didn't have like a story or something. And that led to me feeling peer pressured into doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing, you know? And again, in that moment, that was, you know, might have felt good. But now I'm thinking, looking back, like, you know, dude, you were stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like you only did it so that you could be cool, so that you know, so that you can have something to talk about. You know, and that obviously is something that you want to hold as a reward, you know, to wait until that. So I think that is just so important when it comes to that, just that waiting process, because now it's just like, I want to wait for the right person. But yeah, so anyway, obviously it starts with dating, you know, and you know, you definitely want to be best friends with the person that you're dating too. So
yeah, absolutely. I think it's often overlooked that, you know, if you are serious about, you know, dating this person, marrying them in the future, it's important to realize like you're gonna be with them the rest of your life. Yeah, it's not just gonna be lovey-dovey all the time, like you were saying. Before you have kids, if you want to have kids, you know, if you don't want to have kids, you're spending the whole rest of your life with this one person at home every night. And so you're gonna have to get to know them. And it makes it all the better, especially if you have those similarities. You guys get to go out and do these things. You get to share life together, experience life together, go through difficult times together. So it's really important. Like, it's not just your wife or your husband. Like, that's your best friend. And to go back to talking about the like sex and even before marriage, like you were saying, we don't want to make it sound like if you have done that, that it's a shame. We don't want to make it sound like we're shaming you or anything. You know, that's all we're trying to say here.
Yeah, we're not trying to condemn you. Say you failed at life and you know all this other stuff. We're not trying to definitely say that. I agree. If
that was you and you did do that, that's all right. We move on. Don't focus on the past. Focus on the future. Focus on what you can do, not on what's already been done. That was something I really had to get through with past relationships, past mistakes that I made, past mistakes that were done to me. Had to say, like, look, Gina, this girl that I'm dating, who I absolutely love, I can't put that on her. The distrust is not from her, it's from past relationships. The hurt is not from her, it's from past relationships. I have to stop putting it on her. And that was something that I struggled with beginning of our relationship, was that lack of distrust. I tend to bottle things up, so I would never tell her anything. And I would just bottle everything up, and it would come out in anger, not towards her, but just anger in general. And it could have led to something unhealthy if I didn't talk about it. And she was someone who always called me out on talking about things.
Dude, and that's so good what you said, like, about, and by the way, yes, not condemning anybody. If you've done that and you're like, oh my God, I wanted to wait, it's like, hey man, get back up and do it again. You know, get back up and try again, you know.
Absolutely. Whoever you end up marrying, that won't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if that person loves you, they love you for you, not for your past.
Exactly. Yeah. And I wanted to piggyback off of something that you said, Edgar, because it was really good. I think when you get into relationships and you bring baggage, that hurts the other person so bad. And I would say that if you are in high school, if you are in college, and you think that you found the one and you're dating and married, and your parents know them, and because that's important. Introduce them to your parents.
Yeah, that's something I never did.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just like, and I've been dumped plenty of times. I've been friend zoned plenty of times. I've been, all of that good stuff. And I was a little scared to bring some girls to my mama, I'm like, and I did bring one girl to my mother, and my mother did not like her at all. And she was calling her mom, and I was like, no, don't do that. No. It was just like, no.
That should be a red flag. If you don't want to introduce her to your parents, that's an issue.
Yeah.
That's
she pulled up in the house like it was hers. She's like, hey, mom. I'm like, we're done.
No, walk right back out.
Yeah. But I just want to say this because it's so important. If you feel like you're with the person that you're going to be with, for the rest of your life, at the right age, and your parents know who they are, you feel comfortable, all this other good stuff, and you're compatible, you're friends, you're great friends, seek counseling for the past relationships that you've been in, if you have been in past relationships. Because what you don't want to do is compare that person to the last relationship you were in. Because if you had a bad falling out with somebody in the past, then you could be thinking that current partner is going to do the same thing that the previous partner did. Yeah. But you never healed past the previous partner. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to get counseling. You got to get help, some type of therapy, some type of, anything to be able to move past that person. Don't bring back into a relationship. And even if you do, that could be something that your partner helps you out with, right? That could be something that absolutely. They help you out with. Like, talk to them about it. Like, hey, I've been through this before, and I don't want to get hurt again. Yeah. Are you going to do this to me? Or, be
open with them.
Yeah, be open. You got to be open. If you can't be honest, that's a red flag too.
And if you're the partner on the receiving end, where your partner's the one telling you about that baggage and asking, like, look, like, I don't want to get hurt again. Are you going to do this? Don't take it in the form of they're not trusting you.
Yeah.
They're telling you that because they trust you, because they want to be with you.
Right. Because it's easy to be like, well, you don't trust me?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, no, it's not about you. It's about them at that time. Yeah. And I also want to say about if you're someone whether you're like a little more like me, a little more like Kenny, but you're still seeking a relationship, and middle school, high school, even college, but you don't know necessarily who you are, I would advise against it. Yeah. Yes. Don't go into a relationship without really knowing who you are, or really being confident in yourself, being confident in who you are. Because that was the biggest issue. Gina and I went through a really hard situation, really hard time, probably like an 8-month period where I was doubting everything, but it all sprung from me not knowing who I was outside of our relationship. Wow. And I wanted to get my identity, know who I was, but I felt like I couldn't do that if I was still with her. And it caused a lot of issues between us. Everything is on hindsight. It's for the better. We're on the better side of things now. We're married. Everything's great. But it was because I got into a relationship thinking that being in a relationship was going to fix me, or was going to give me my identity, and that was going to fill the void. Right. When in reality, it can't. And you're just going to bring that hardship into the relationship. Yeah, that's so good. That's so good.
And just piggybacking off of that, we did go back and listen to our one of the podcasts we did on identity. It was just really good. That plays a part in relationships. Yeah. Big time. Because what you don't want to do is like everything that they like.
Yeah, exactly.
Or do everything that they do. And I've seen it happen in relationships all the time. I've seen people in relationships, and I've known friends that everything that she likes, he likes.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything that she does, he does. It's like, you don't want to forget who you are. Yeah. Or do you even know who you are? Yeah. Because if you know who you are, 9 times out of 10, you won't fold and be like, well, I just want to do that. But find out who you are, like Edgar said, and remain you in that relationship, because that's what makes the relationship so beautiful. Because both of you are so different. Exactly. And both of you have different things that you like, different movies. Like, I like rom-coms, so she likes rom-coms. It's like,
No,
You can like, you know,
you
just
can like your own things, and you can like your own stuff. And she, or if you're a girl and they will also start to share those differences, sharing those. I remember in college we took a psychology class. We were in the same class, Gina and I, and we were taking the Myers-Briggs test. And as she's taking the test, I was taking the test thinking of how she would answer the questions.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't want it to be that we were too different, because I thought she was going to dump me if we were too different.
Wow, that's
And
deep.
I almost hit it on the T. I think I was one letter off.
Oh,
when we did it.
snap.
Yeah, and that even made me nervous because I was putting so much into it. I don't think she knows that shit. She's hearing this for the first time.
Yeah. There you go, Gina.
But yeah, we took it. I took it again later per like my own answers, how I am. And I think we're like 50-50, like half, whatever. But yeah, if you're not secure in yourself, take time to pour into yourself, or not pour into yourself, but take time to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Take time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like that's not talked about enough.
Yes.
The importance of taking care of yourself.
And embrace singleness.
Yes.
Singleness is a huge part to relationships. Because if you don't, that's when you find out who you are. It's like a wilderness experience. And figuring out who you are is the most powerful thing. Then when you date, you can figure out who will
mesh well with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to our friends episode, and that could help you out with with relationships too, because you want to be best friends with your partner, with your future spouse. So I mean, that's really good, Edgar. That's really good. Yeah,
man. Oh.
This thing's a part two. This thing's a part two.
We'll probably come out with a part 2 later on as well.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, we're always thinking about you guys. We love y'all.
Yeah.
Let us know any topics that you want us to talk about. Let us know in the comments below. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you don't miss out any other videos or any other content that we are putting out. If you're on Spotify, Apple Music, make sure you like and follow us. Same thing, so you don't miss out on any other future episodes or podcasts. Yeah, we love y'all. Looking forward to the future. Thank you all for your support, and we will see you all on the next one.
See you guys.
See y'all.
Love you. See ya.